Hi guys, it's Guy, and I'm really happy to be talking to you today about this galactic internet. And I wanted to express this to you a little while ago. And then there were some events that had to take place in order for you to understand it. And then I could proceed and let you know. So what I'm talking about with the galactic internet is I want you to imagine Gaia, the Earth. And the Earth has a main control system. That main control system, let's say that is in Antarctica. Let's say it's the mind of Gaia. It's the mind of Gaia, the Earth. It's the brain. This is the same as having, like with the brain within us, we have portals to different dimensions within our own makeup, depending on our own awakening and our own evolution. So the Earth has Gaia, because we're one with her. She has these connections, and her main crown chakra, if you will, I'm going to stretch your imagination here, because when I talk about crown chakra, I want you to get in touch with the 0 point energy. When you're going to get in touch with 0 point energy, you're getting in touch with that energetic pathway, the Tao. I have to pull yourself, because when I talk about science, I have to talk about religion. When I talk about extraterrestrials, it's all one big thing, because the planet is connected to us, it's connected to the galactic. And there's an emerging right now. The situation, why is everybody so focused on Antarctica? The reason that Lightworkers, well, I'm a person who's been chosen to be on the embassy for Earth. And I call myself a light worker because it's something that people can relate to. And when you have this kind of information, you explain it to people in a way that they can understand it. Now, Gaia is a being. You're part of her. We're part of her. Everything is part of her. And let's consider that Antarctica may be, I want to take you, I want to explore your mind to show you how this works, may be the main center point for her brain center, which connects her to 0 point. When she connects to zero, I can connect to 0 point, and I can astral travel. There's a point where you get energetically between the waveforms where you and I exist, between the form of decisions. See, everything is based on your God, and everything is based on your decision. And when you decide something, that is going to be your reality. Now, there's a point between those two. You're a physical being, you're a spiritual being, mental, and then physical. Like if you watch my videos, by the time everything's in the physical, it's in the past. So there's a point between those two locations that we're just going to call the 0 point. The point before this decision you made, the point before the fear that you were led by, the point before the success that you knew that you already had within your own cells, the 0 point. Now let's imagine that there are some people merged with extraterrestrial beings that have access to this 0 point energy. And let's say that it exists in Antarctica. Perhaps this is the reason why our leaders are going to Antarctica to hone into this 0 point energy. This energy also, I want you to know, it's a portal energy that exists between the other galactic portals. It's all one connection. The reason why that area is so popular, because it's one of the main functions. And at this time, it happens to be wanting to be under control of something very dark. And that is why there's a whole bunch of traveling over into Antarctica to take over what we will understand to know as the Galactic Web. The Galactic Web is like an internet. It's like an internet that connects to all of the galaxies. Once that's taken over, it's a whole different ballgame on planet Earth. In fact, that's when the New World Order can come into existence, because when you take over the galactic main 0 point, you have to remember everything is connected on a grid line. Every single thing is connected. There are grid lines in the east and there's grid lines in the west, south, north. You can consider the grid lines in the northeast to be more of a Rothschild grid line, and then you're talking a whole different Draco thing on the west versus a reptilian. So you just as a basic example, within those grid lines, within your brain, which is the same thing, there are pathways. You can call them veins, or you can call them grid lines, you can call them energy points. And if your Earth's energy points are governed by something archonic, or something archonic can be a negative thought form system, but when that negative thought form system comes into the collective, which is controlled by the main central system, which is in Antarctica, then you have problems because you spread a virus. And we've already have a virus. Here we have a human virus. It's called disconnection from source. Most people are disconnected from source energy, coupled with the fact that they have archonic witch energy walking around the water and moving dark energy. Now, that's not too much to handle for a light worker, because what happens to people with us, although it sounds very dark, it is. It actually really is. But when you are constantly in prayer, and when you have golden light around you, and when you take the Mother, Father, God with you during your day, and you have the essence of spirit, however that means to you, that could be a beautiful rock song. I mean, that's still the expression of God within you. Then that energy, that's what you take and protect you. Have you ever heard a beautiful song and felt, wow, this feels so good, or done a great exercise, and or sang something and you loved it, or played something, or rode a bike really fast and you feel that euphoric? That's that energy. You can take that energy and pump that into anything that's hurting you in your body, emotionally, physically, or spiritually. So this is the Tau energy that is trying to be disruptive. They may be able to take over a collective system now that we have a situation set up intentionally where the leader is separating people. So when you're separating these grid lines, you're making one against the other, which is the initial plan. That's all been a plan. Everybody's just a puppet playing out a plan. And the people that are not part of that are probably people like you and I, because you're attracted to this channel, who's done the spiritual work, that doesn't feed into it, that can understand it, that can see that it's a matrix, that can see that it's absolutely designed to fool you as you're at its best. It is a trickery of the mind, according to how you feed into that. And what's so beautiful is meditation in your own essence can get you out of that. You can literally meditate, and depending on your level, understand this in one DNA structure of your body. I mean, we're only using 5% of our brain. There's that whole other part's the God part. And we are connected to every single part of that. We are connected to it all. You and I are divinely connected to Source. There's other energetic beings here that have lost their connection, and they literally feed off of our connections and try to disrupt our minds and get into our auric field and control thoughts, mind control. I wrote a book on mind control. If you want to know where, when, and how the government's doing things, and how they take their babies, when they put it on sacrificial or on the grid lines, and where and when, I wrote about all that because of my experience and because of what I've been able to see since I had my awakening, according to how I've been downloaded from the light beings, which is just a form of you and I connected to our highest version. And because I have a kinetic connection, they tap me on my nose, I'm able to get this information, and then I get the downloads. I am not the only one. I am not. my DNA cells are connected to yours. Yours are igniting at the same time mine are, even just watching this. And the thing is that we're all under one divine mind. So you have to really, really watch your thoughts. We have to watch our thoughts. Thinking negative things will pull you into those negative grid lines where they want you to be after you've just watched television that is just full of a plot. It's an illusionary plot. That's why they're able to put in the effect, the Mandela effect, because it is a matrix, an illusion. And depending on your vibration, you can hone into that at certain times on a lower level or a higher level, just depending on your prayer, your input, your anger, where you set yourself up. This happens in nanoseconds. You can literally change the vibration of your outcome of any situation, anything. I don't care what it is. God's bigger than that. And you can do that through meditate, through just getting on a vibratory frequency that is aligned with the highest frequency of your highest good. And none of these grid lines affect you. Now the galactic internet out of Antarctica is going to be, they're kind of fighting for that right now. There's negotiations being made in that. So that involves a couple of different extraterrestrial races. Some of them have been running this country, this planet, and sections of it, and some of them want to get in and make new arrangements, but either way, it's a place that you don't arrange because it is authentic and it's real, and it comes from the base and the heart of Gaia. So it's self-sufficient. It doesn't need to be tweaked. It doesn't need medication. And that's what they're trying to do, to alter your perceptions and our perceptions, basically to let us believe that we're separate. And we're not. You and I are not separate. You're not separate from the animal that you eat, from the animal that you killed, from the animal that you shot. You're not separate from the medication. You're not separate from the music you listen to. You're not separate from the couch that you sit on. It's just vibrating at a different vibratory rate, depending on what you have decided and what you want and need in your life to get you from A to B according to your own evolution. If you want the fastest way to get somewhere, meditate. Meditate. That is the fastest way to get somewhere. That is how you understand the grid lines. That is how you understand what's coming. That is how you understand there's in America, they have a plan here, and I've always mentioned this, that this whole thing with this presidency, it's an agenda. There is a plan, and it's coming from this guy. And it comes from we are trained at this timeline. There is an invasion from the sky. Now, is that gonna... Let me just keep it at that, because that's all that we can tell you right now. Because what happens because our memories are being watched as well, Lightworkers' memories, there's only so much we can tap into. And when the time is right, we can produce this for you. But in my training, there's always been, I've always talked about this, when they want to merge into our land in America, it is from the sky. They do this because we let them. We let them. We let them. We are letting them take down our grid lines, and we are. They are going to take over. There's technology that can take over the space in between, but you cannot be affected if you are on a frequency that's a higher vibration than the vibration of war. It doesn't compute. I mean, I don't care what religion you're, Buddhist, Jesus, they all tell you your vibration, if it matters, if prayer works. Prayer works. Prayer just works. Prayer works for me, it works for you, it works for when you pray for other people. And if there's any other situation besides for that, the soul the oversoul has chosen to make another path. Like when somebody dies or things change, the oversoul absolutely knows that this time frame is absolutely perfect for that soul to go. Maybe most people's soul are too high for this planet and they want to go into different realms. But when you're here, and you give everything that you can to this earth because you are part of this beautiful connection. And a lot of people right now are part of the overcoming. There's a restoration plan happening on Earth. There is a reason I'm letting you know about the galactic internet running out of Antarctica, because if enough people know, we can pull our energy focus. This is the computer. This is stronger than the internet. This is the computer. This is why they're trying to ruin it. And when that combines your mind, one mind of God, our mind, together as unity, there's nothing that can compare. It's like there's nothing that, once you're in that Christ energy, you can call it the Christ energy, there's nothing that can harm you. There's nothing. It is, you're the light of the world, and then we all connect within the source, and that's where you see the whole unit of the planet becoming in a higher vibration. Now, there's the infiltration that's happening in Antarctica. I'm going to make part 2 because that's going to be a